Hey there, my friend Perry Tinsley here. Do you ever wonder how some people just seem to stay fit during the holiday season and even into the winter stuff? And man, it's like you're going, I've got so many things going on. How do you do it? It really, at least for me, I believe it's all about mindset and consistency. And I know that's like, oh, that sounds so simple for you, Perry. I get it. But I'm going to share with you today some of the ways I built in the mindset and the consistency to stay in control throughout the holiday season. Because as I've shared in the podcast, whether you catch the audio versions or you're tuning into the weekly videos, we talk about the holidays, the temptations, the treats, the moments where it just seems easier just to lay on it or sit down on the couch. But that, I have found, doesn't mean that your fitness routine needs to take a back seat. So I'm going to explore with you some ideas here that, I'm going to challenge you to take on as we head into this holiday season, and really to tap into your thinking on how you approach things, because it's really, really a big deal. But before we get into all this great stuff, I do want to thank you for tuning in to another Power Blast podcast where we provide nourishment for the soul, allowing you to transform from the inside out, providing you rapid results in mindset and fitness so that you can recharge that mental and physical battery of yours and reclaim your power. And man, we are going to really dig into that today. And before you really dive deep, make sure I've got this wide open for you, podcast listeners. Go over to talktoperry.com, book a call. I've had some amazing conversations in the past few weeks where just a little bit of clarity and a little bit of perspective have helped each individual really launch forward on what it is that they're wanting to go through, really put themselves in control on their health and fitness journey, and a lot of things that really have to do with just life in general, because it's not only health and fitness, it's a lot of mindset stuff, but sometimes just shifting a perspective. Jump over 15 minutes as long as we'll talk. Talktoperry.com. So let's start with, let me start with this. This past week, I was in a mastermind, and somebody was asking, well, what's your strategy to navigate through the holidays? It's so crazy busy, and my schedule's so overwhelmed, and they up my hours at work, and how do you do it? And I loved the question that came up, and I could also see where somebody was already thinking, I'm not going to be able to make this work. Something's got to give. It was the mindset that was happening. And that's what happened with me. Was I would get into the colder months, at least where I live. You might be down in Australia for all I know, and now it's heading into summer. But you were getting into the holiday season, and just a lot of events were taking priority from the regular routine. And that would be one thing, if you're just like, okay, this is temporary, I'll be back to back to my routine soon. But for many people, including myself back in the day, the routine never came back. It never stuck. It just, kind of drifted off course during the holidays and never quite made it back, where it was like, oh, I got to go all in. And then, it was all or nothing and ended up being nothing. So with that question that somebody was asking, I thought this is a beautiful awareness to have, to really, because now life has given you a little bit of a challenge, a little bit of contrast, okay? And this is the perfect opportunity to say, I'm going to figure this out no matter what. See, a lot of times people just say, you know what? It's the holidays. I'll put it on the back, other stuff on the back burner. And we don't even say we're going to put it on the back burner. We'll just say, I'll do my best, but we know that we're putting it on the back burner. When I got going, I'm like, no, that's the priority. How am I going to arrange all of the other holiday things that are going to be around my main goal, which was my health and fitness? That was a different shift. And that's something I want to challenge you with. So some ideas that I did was, well, I'm still going to devote time to these other things. Work is going to be a little bit more demanding. That's fine. Those are circumstances that I'm not going to be moved by. I'm not going to be shifted by. As a matter of fact, what I discovered is when I implemented a few of the strategies I'm going to share with you, I found I got through the holidays way better with more energy. My work productivity still rocked, and I was able to do it and keep up with the demand. I was running a German Shepherd rescue, so there were those sort of things to run and navigate. And so, but by staying consistent with my health and fitness and being unmoved by whatever was going on around me, that was a different mindset shift. See, I think a lot of times people reverse it and go, oh, I got all this stuff. How am I going to figure in time for me? It's probably not going to happen. And we give all of our energy and our time to all the stuff. But what if you gave the energy and the time to you at your core of what it is that you want to accomplish? Then all the stuff, you're still able to do those things, but more effectively, more energy. But not a lot of us go and approach it that way. So one of the things I did initially was like, you know what? I'm showing up for 20-minute workout. Regardless, it's 20 minutes. I'm getting my workout in. One day's arms, one day's shoulders, one day's, maybe chest and back, adding in a little bit of cardio. And I didn't lock myself into this, well, it's got to be done this way. I've got to have the 20-minute warm-up. I got to have, with cardio, I've got to hit the weights for 40 minutes. I got to hit I didn't lock it into that. As a matter of fact, I made it simple, and I just followed a trainer that was teaching me on my TV. And then I didn't even have to give energy of what exercises I needed to do or overthink. Is it chest day? Is it back day or whatever? I just looked at the sheet and went, well, today's legs. As a matter of fact, yesterday was shoulders. Today was a leg day. Tomorrow is arm day. So I know exactly what's going to happen those days. Holidays are upon us. So that's my approach. I'm showing up no matter what. And by doing that, you give yourself control and really empower yourself, not only through the holidays, but you just crank out momentum to accomplish so many other things. When you start saying, I've got this desire, I've got this goal, and I'm willing to do whatever it takes, and I'm not going to give in to the circumstances around me. Circumstances will happen. And you just go, wow, isn't that interesting? I may need to give some attention to that, but I'm still doing this. This is why when I started embracing put yourself first, and a lot of times people are like, no, you can't put yourself first. You got to put all these other things. Or when I say that, I'm just saying the priority of taking care of your health, your fitness, your mindset, taking care of those things. That's what's going to be your best self for all the others. I'm not saying, oh, you're going to be so selfish and not do anything for anything. It's you get to contribute even more. Your energy level is up. You become more aligned with your fitness goals. And so that is just the beauty of it. Now, I agree. It's realistic to set goals that are clear for yourself. When times get a little bit on the contrast or challenging moment, just shift your perspective here, thinking about it and saying, you know what, I'm going to make it work. And here's how I'm going to simplify it. That was another thing I started doing. I'm like, I've been overcomplicating this thing, and then I'm creating all this extra drama of how I'm going to do this, and I'm so overwhelmed, I'm so overworked. I was telling and programming my brain that I'm overworked, I'm overwhelmed, I'm overweight. And I kept saying that and all that self-talk. And that led to feeling self-doubt and fear and worry. And I'm not going to do this and anxiety and all this stuff. Wow. I was literally programming myself to do and to feel that way. What if I flip that switch and program myself to be empowered, to be in control, to do the things that I can control when life may appear out of control? keeping in, I'm not even going to say balance. I think more in alignment with things, not going for the perfection, and really, really working with that. That's why I always encourage people to jump on my call at talktoperry.com. It's a website. You can just book a call. But that's where we talk about things, because so many of us, we go about our life like we are a 6-year-old smartphone, 2% battery life, no charger in sight. And we go about this day after day after day, feeling like we're charging ourselves up, but we're literally drained. That's where I want to help you. I'll even share my power of 5 strategy with you that will really help you elevate and accomplish the goals. You tell me what goal you want to achieve. I'll tell you how to get it. Okay. TalkToPerry.com is it. Lastly, let's just think. It's not about the number of workouts, but for me, it's just like, I'm just showing up every day. I'm showing up and following my plan and just doing the best I can. Even when life might seem a little bit I don't even want to call it disarray, because that was the label I was giving things. It's just when life events are happening, I was like, how can I be my best self during this? Instead of saying, I've got all this to do and I've got these things to do and whatever. It's like, so be it. There's a to-do list. Great. Who do you need to be to make that to-do list so much easier? Be your best self, right? Get your health going, your fitness going, stay consistent, stay empowered, and really work on your mindset. And that's going to help you with the motivation and the consistency and the holiday spirit. And you're not going to be compromising anything. You're going to be in flow and blast through and go, wow, I just made it through the holidays. What's next? So you just know you can choose to use your power and take control, or you can let the excuses, the holidays, the justifications, the rationalizations, the drama of the world, defending limitations, control you and drain your power. It really boils down to deciding and committing to yourself and your goals, and then choosing to figure out new ways, looking at possibilities, learning, growing, just moving forward. You've got this, my friend. I'd love to hear your top takeaway from today. Drop those down in the comments. I do reply to those. You absolutely rock, my friend. And as always, I'm going to say it, right? As always, remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week. That's another Power Blast podcast in the books. Thanks so much for tuning in. And remember, when you are ready to recharge your battery, make sure you go to talktoperry.com. That's talktoperry.com. That's Perry. And I want to listen. I want to hear, what's going on. I want to help you in that 15-minute call to recharge your battery and reclaim your power so that you're off and running and creating massive momentum toward your dream. Also, every day, I am delivering more motivation, support, tips, and strategies inside my free community with amazing people like yourself. And we are conquering the mindset and the fitness. I do 52 weeks of free training in there. Plus, I coach and I mentor people, as well as give you access to tons of resources and guides. It's called my Upside Down Fitness community because we work on a lot of mindset stuff, the inside stuff. And we're a fun group of people striving to make healthier habits in this awesome chapter of life. So make sure you get in there. I promise you'll absolutely love it. Just head over to UpsideDownFit.com and you can get into the group. And hey, you would be an awesome friend if you get over to iTunes or wherever you listen to your podcast and leave an honest rating and review for the Power Blast podcast. It helps awesome people like you find this show even faster, and that's who I'm looking for, awesome people like you. That's all I have for this week, my friend, and just to let you know, you absolutely rock. That's all I have for this week. I'll see you on the next Power Blast podcast, and always remember, it's never too late. We'll see you next week.